But we are very proud to where we got, and very proud that we use all New Zealand ingredients, New Zealand supplies, that we try to stay at home with everything as much as we can. I'm Marleen, also known as Mrs. Pete. Together with my husband Pete, we run Pete's Natural. We started about 12 years ago. At that point we basically worked from home and we had our products contract bottled in Nelson. Then we made the switch to bottling ourselves. In Nelson we rented a facility. 6-7 years ago we moved here to Motueka, where we set up the factory, and now we bottle for ourselves, but we also contract bottle for others. And in that time we have grown a lot, but there's still a lot of growth to come. Peter is a baker from trade, so we've always had bakeries, always been self-employed, and at some point we were at a friend's house and they had made their own lemonade from elderflower syrup. We really loved it, so we go like, we need to do something like that at home for ourselves. Peter sometimes wants to do things big, so at some point we had way too much, so we gave some to neighbors and they go like, oh, you need to go commercial with that because it's so good. Now we didn't use elderflowers because it wasn't the season of the elderflowers, but Peter said, oh, let's try and use some hops. The Cashin brewery had just started up again in Nelson, and they were looking for people to bottle for because they had plenty of capacity, and that's how we basically started. Supporting local, so we call that fair trade at home. Like a lot of people use fair trade, let's say juices and everything from overseas. We decided, because there's so much fruit available in the region, we decided to do that ourselves here in the region. So we call it fair trade at home. We support all the local growers. So sustainability, so that's very important too. That's why we use glass bottles which come from New Zealand. When we started out our business about 12 years ago, there wasn't much of a point in that, and also people weren't really looking at healthy products at that point yet. They didn't really care much about what they put in their bodies. Now that has changed, and especially in the last couple of years a lot more people are going for local and supporting local. So we've started doing that already 12 years ago, so we were kind of pioneers in that respect, with the low sugar and the local natural, with adding no additives, chemicals, preservatives. Bottling, so we rinse the bottle, we bottle them, we cap them, and then they go in the baskets for pasteurizing, and they come out. We go over there to do the labeling, so that get taken out of the basket onto the table, go through the labeling machine, you can go, and then they get boxed and put on a pallet and ready to go out the door. We do about 5,500 bottles a day, and we usually bottle only one flavor a day. The packing of the orders, we send most of our orders out with the courier, or otherwise they go on pallets to the customer, depending on the size of the order. The afternoon from about 12:30, 1 o'clock we start packing, and we get them all out. To the South Island it's usually delivered overnight, to the North Island usually 2 business days. At the moment we've got 12 different flavors. First one we brought out was our lemonade, and that is still the top seller. That accounts for probably about a quarter of our sales, and having 12 flavors, that says something about the lemonade, I'd say. What we do is we source the fruit during the season, and then we squeeze it or have it squeezed, and then we freeze the juice. We do deliver to the whole of New Zealand. There's also a lot of scope for exporting. From this year and next year onwards we're planning on exporting more again, and year on year, even with COVID, we've really still been growing quite a bit. This year we're planning on 30 to 40% year on year. We're very well on track for that. If you think of something and you do your research and it's feasible, go for it. Don't worry, don't think about it too much, just go for it and do it, because 20 years from now you will regret what you've never done, and then it's too late.